We're going to start with measuring segments. The distance between I'm telling you. I'm killing my staff. Okay, so for measuring segments, the distance between 2 points A and B can be written as the length of AB. Sometimes they'll put a little line on top, or sometimes they'll just put 2 letters AB. So if I count the distance between A and B, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 4 little spaces between A and B. Congruent is a geometry term we use all year long. Congruent means equal. So if I look at my picture and I say AB is equal to CD, because this still has a distance of 4, and this still has a distance of 4, they're equal to each other, then the segments are technically called congruent. Congruent is another word for equal. It just is written with something else. So we could say AB is congruent to CD. The only difference between an equal sign and a congruency symbol is it has this little extra squiggle on top. So if you ever see that, it literally just means that they are the same length. So segment addition postulate is a rule that we can use. It says if A, B, and C are collinear, that means they fall on the same line, and B is between AC, then I can say AB, which is this distance, plus the next distance, which is this portion right here, BC, would equal the whole thing, which is from A to C. So it's basically what we're doing, but we're adding numbers or math. So for number 1, it says if PQ is 9 and QR is 28, we need to find PR. So to find the whole distance together, all we do is add them together. So 9 plus 28 is 37. Using the same knowledge, I can do number 2. Number 2 says if QR is 17, so this is 17, QR, and PR is 21, which is this whole thing is 21. To find PQ, this little piece, instead of adding them together, I would just subtract them to find the missing length. So if I do 21 minus 17, that makes a distance of 4. Okay, so we go into a actual math problem for like number 3. Number 3 tells me that E to G is 71. I need to find the value of X. So using piece and piece, I'm going to add these little pieces together, and then it's going to equal the whole length of the line. So the first little piece is 8x minus 17. I'm adding in the next little piece. The next little piece on my picture is 5x minus 3. And they equal a total of 71. So if I combine like terms here, this is like algebra 1. I combine 8x and 5x, that makes 13x. And then I'm going to combine my other numbers as well, which is negative 17 and negative 3. Those will come together to make negative 20 because you're adding that. And then I solve this 2-step equation. So I'm going to add the 20 to get rid of it. So 13x equals 91. Last step is to divide. So x equals 7. So we're going to do it again. We're going to do number 4. So number 4 says if t to v is 14x minus 8, this time we need to find tu. What this means is I have to substitute it back in to get a length of it. But I still need to solve for x first, so that way I can substitute it back in. So we're going to make an equation. I'm going to do little piece, which is 9x plus 2. And I'm adding the other little piece. So I'm adding 5. It equals the whole distance. The whole distance is 14x minus 8. So instead of just equaling a number, it equals an equation. So just like algebra 1, we're going to solve multi-step equations. So I'm going to start by combining like terms. 9x can't combine with 2 or 5, but 2 and 5 can come together. 2 and 5 added together makes 7. I'm going to bring down my 9x in the front. Equals 14x minus 8. And then you can solve this 4 different ways. I'm going to move the 8 because it's negative. You could subtract 7 or add 8. I'm going to add 8 to get rid of the minus sign. So I have plus 8 and plus 8. So 9x plus 15 equals 14x. Need to get rid of the 9x. So I'm going to subtract it and move it to the other x to combine like terms using opposite operations. So 15 equals 5x. And then if I divide by 5, x equals 3. So last time it just said find x. This time it says find tu. So I have to substitute my answer back in. So in algebra, we should have learned this. We're going to plug it back into tu. Tu is 9x plus 2. So if I sub 3 in, I have 9 times 3 plus 2. 9 times 3 is 27. I'm adding 2 to make 29. So TU's actual length is 29. So you could try 5 and 6. 5, I'll put the answers on here at least. So when you try these, you're doing piece plus piece. And it equals the whole thing, which is 5x plus 2. Same thing over here. You're doing piece, which is x plus 3. You're adding the other piece. And then it equals the whole thing, which is 7x plus 4. So you should pause the video and try these. If you do this correctly, you should get x equals 12. And over here, you should get x equals 5. And then when you plug it back in, JL should make 62. And this one just says find the value of x, so you don't have to plug it in. And then let's go to the back. So on the back side, we're going to skip number 7. And we're going to go to midpoint. So for midpoint of a segment, the midpoint of a segment divides the segment into 2 congruent segments. It means it splits it in half. A line, right, or segment intersects a segment at its midpoint. It is said to bisect the segment and is called the segment bisector. So looking in this picture, the line right here is the bisector. B is the midpoint. So basically, if this side was 10, this would also be 10. They match. So in the diagram to the left, B is the midpoint of AC, and line L is the segment bisector of AC. And then these ones are pretty simple, so we're just going to do like one of them. So for number 8, it says if Q is the midpoint of PR, Q is in the middle, then that means I know this piece is congruent to this piece, meaning they're equal. To find the value of X, what we're going to do is just set them equal to each other. So anytime it says midpoint, we're basically putting an equal sign between them, and we're just solving. So we'll say 17x or 7x minus 16 equals 4x plus 2. So it's very similar to the front. We just don't have to combine like terms on each side. We just solve our equation. So I'm going to add 16. Seven x equals 4x plus 18. Then I'm going to move my 4x to the other side using subtraction. 7x minus 4x is 3x. And then I divide by 3. So x equals 6. So take a second, try number 9. We're going to skip 10 and 11. When you solve this one, you should get x equals 3. And then this one you have to plug back in. So GH is this portion. So you're plugging 3 in. So GH ends up being 17. And then on the classwork paper, you're skipping 8, 9, and 14, 15.